everyone, good evening. Welcome to my show tonight. Yes, as usual, Deepti is going to come on board and she's going to read Sushant Singh's diaries. Um, Before that, we're going to discuss about lately what's happening in Mumbai as with regards to the NCP doing their job. Zonal Director Sameer Wankhede is doing an amazing job, and big salute to him. I would say he's a hero, God sent hero. But instead of appreciating his work, people are actually criticizing him. Right? Recently, we have a minister saying that Mr. Sameer Wakande is actually is going to Dubai and all that. Well, Mr. Sameer Wakande have actually claimed it is not true. So instead of appreciating his effort, trying to help catch all these people actually procuring drugs, selling drugs, and consuming drugs, they actually criticizing his work. But the problem here is I also have been watching some videos, and the videos there were some chats in the videos, and they were saying that why leave him alone, meaning Aryan Khan. He's not disturbing anyone, he's not harming anyone, so why are you all disturbing him? But the problem here is it's not about disturbing him. Taking drugs is illegal is because it is harmful for one person, for a person, yeah. It's not only harmful for the person, it's also harmful for the person around him or anybody who's taking drugs. Because when I'm consuming drugs, I'll be influencing my friends to do it. Even if I don't influence them, my friends are watching me taking drugs. Probably I'll be in ecstasy, probably I'll feel high. They'll be influenced to take it too. They might even want to try it. So, because of this, drugs have been made illegal. There's also some comments I read saying that, India is backward, is allowed in other countries. I'm from Singapore. If you're telling India is backward, are you telling Singapore is backward too? Drugs is very harmful, not only to, Bollywood stars, it's harmful for anybody. I have to say, India is doing a wonderful job. The agencies are doing a wonderful job catching all these drug dealers, drug consumers, and those are also selling drugs, buying drugs, and all that. Ananya Pandey recently made a comment that she was just Ananya Pandey and Arya Khan was having a chat, which have been actually exposed through his phone, and Ananya Pandey now is actually telling that it is I was just joking with Arya Khan. Well, Ananya Pandey is just joking with Arya Khan. This sounds like a joke to all of us. Are you telling the NCB are dumb? They are stupid. They do not know what they're doing. They do not know the content of a message. And they're saying that this is a joke. Well, it sounds like a joke to all of us. Let me repeat that again. Hi, Mitra. Hi, Nandini. Thank you for joining me, Mitra ji. Today I bothered to dress up a bit. Okay, yes, since Mitra and Nandini are here, let me repeat this again. Deepti will be coming on board. My today's thumbnail, do not get confused because I got someone messaging me, asking me, is Mr. Sameer Wakande is coming or live? He's not. I don't think he will at this point of time because of the cases that actually going on, and he's running around napping some other people who's connected to the drug deal. Hi, Padmama. Oh, my dear, welcome. So, okay, let me just highlight your messages. Hi, Nandini, Mitra, Vanakkam. Yes, Deepti ji is coming soon. Yes, thank you, Padmama, thank you so much. Oh, my dear, welcome. So glad to see you back. Are you having bad throat? Oh my God, do I sound like having bad throat? Now I did alter my voice. Well, actually, bad throat, I have to admit, because I've been having dry throat for a very long time. Okay, okay, let's get back to the topic now. The hot topic in Mumbai. I'm very amazed with Samir's job. Okay, and I think a lot of things is coming out now. And whoever who said or portrayed that Sushant Singh is a druggie, when they portray that Sushant is a druggie, they make it look like it is bad taking drugs. Sushant is taking drugs. But now When someone in the Bollywood or the children, when they are caught taking drugs, it becomes, it's nothing wrong taking drugs. Why are you, arresting him and putting him in jail and not giving him bail? Look at how actually the whole thing turned out to be. And Mr. Vikas Singh is claiming that with little bit drugs, that means when the amount of drugs, if it is less, it's okay. What are you trying to say? Are you encouraging drugs? Drugs, as long you take drugs, whether a small amount or a big amount, I think it is an offense. It's illegal taking drugs. This is the law in India. Actually, in Singapore, it's even more stricter. When the law is strict, you're able to save the citizen from consuming drugs, you know, or influence others from taking drugs. Hi, Yulisa Tracy. Deepti ma'am will be coming in, I think, in a few minutes' time. She did message me that she'll be late about 5 minutes. Okay, today's topic, how it's going to be, is actually I've asked Deepti ma'am that we're going to discuss there are some names have been mentioned by Sushant Singh in the, he have decoded in his diary. So we're going to talk a little bit, discuss, not reading, because that part have been read before. But we're going to discuss what are the names Sushant have read, what he have actually revealed about this drug matter. Please do not comment saying that now that this story is out, this news is out, Deepti is talking about it. No, I told her to just discuss about those drug related matter today, which is actually mentioned in Sushant diaries. And of course, you'll go on to read the latest slides. But Mama, let me say again, Sami is really great. My prayers include him for his safety. Our aim is justice for the incredible work. Yes, it's really, really, when I read the story that they are following Sameer Wakande, I got worried. Oh gosh, this is one what truthful person working very hard. Is very truthful to his, honest to his job, and is doing a wonderful job. If something happened to him, I think it's really, really going to be very sad. India have some good people, and hope they will not do anything to him. And the good part here is he have got extra security around him. Okay, Deepti ji is on the backstage. Let's welcome her. Hi, Deepti.
Hello, Bachanji. After a long time, how are
Yeah,
you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry for being late. Actually,
No,
too
it's okay. It's
much.
okay.
Yeah, too many things going around. And yes, Bachanji. I
Okay,
just want to. Keep repeating this, but I will repeat it once again, once more. That what you are doing, what the likes of Mitraji and Meenaji are doing. Okay, though the numbers which are being visible is just in thousands or something, the contribution that your platform the contribution that your platform is giving to this fight for justice and for good over the evil is immense.
thank you, Ji.
let
Thank you,
me
Ji.
let me let me tell you, numbers can be fudged, data can be manipulated. Okay, we have so many celebrities on social media with millions and millions of followers. Okay, so let us not get discouraged by the lack of numbers or something, because this truth that the seeds of this truth that you are sowing in the people's mind, even if it is thousands or something, from them it will spread to the other people. Okay, and kindly stick to it, kindly stick to what you're doing. Okay, lots of developments are happening in India right now, okay, with no logical conclusions to any one of them whatsoever. Lot of news coming up, lot of developments happening. Let me tell you, without any logical conclusion to any single issue. We are daily having, it's like a competition of news. I mean, sensational news coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I think people should keep asking, we continue to keep asking the authorities about what happened to CBI. Why is the CBI not acknowledging it's been over 2 months now, close to
Yeah.
2 months. Though they have promised that they will call me back soon after talking to the seniors and setting up the appointment, I am yet to receive any call from CBI.
Okay.
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 CBI has not yet given any update about Sushant's case. Let us not forget about this.
Mm.
A lot of sensational news are coming up in between. But what is happening is that we are getting diverted. We are getting diverted. Okay, agreed. Aryan Khan has been caught. Agreed. So many people are being called for questioning. Jacqueline Fernandez has been called by ED for questioning. And now Ananya Pandey has also been called. And two other Bollywood actresses and people from Bollywood are also being called by the NCB for questioning in connection with Aryan Khan's case. Because there are other names that have come up in his WhatsApp chats as well regarding the drugs discussion and all.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are being called for questioning and all. The NCB is doing its job. Okay.
Yeah.
CBI is silent. Is still silent. So let us, uh, I mean the SSRians and you people not get diverted by all this. We will keep track of other news, other developments as well, but we should not stop asking or pressurizing CBI for a charge sheet in Sushant's case or for a status on their findings.
Actually, you're right, Deepti ji, but of course, I have to praise the NCB for the kind of work they've been doing, like the zonal director, amazing, amazing. One side, we see a lot of action happening, but the other side, like what you highlighted, the other side in Sushant case, CBI is completely quiet. You know, as much as I praise that the other side, the agency is doing a fantastic job. What is happening
Yes.
on this side? You know, why is it taking so long uh, to break a case?
But Bachanji,
Mm.
CBI is silent and it is still the premier agency of India, which should not be questioned, which should not be held accountable for its action as far as mainstream media is concerned. Okay. So, and NCB is acting against the culprits, very high profile celebrities and all. So, NCB is being maligned.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they have gone personal in their attacks, which has no logical connection to the arrest of Aryan Khan or whatsoever.
Yes.
So, whoever dares to stand against this powerful wrong, they get maligned. You see, in Twitter, it has been trending since past few days. We stand with Shah Rukh Khan. What has he done to stand with him?
Yeah. Agree.
What has he done to stand with him? You are standing with someone. See, Bachchanji, in Sushant's drives as well.
Okay.
Okay, he had made this mention about Shah Rukh Khan. At that point of time, we didn't make the connection. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
would like to actually read that bit here because it is very much relevant today in
Okay.
connection with Aryan Khan's arrest. So if you just give me half a minute, I will get that slide ready and read that
Yeah.
portion for the viewers.
Yes. Can. Sure. Sure. So I will take over. Yeah. Just get ready. Okay. Yes. As I mentioned in today's video, of course, DPG is going to read the slides. Uh, Probably a couple of later slides. But before that, she's going to touch on those diary contents which Sushant actually spoke about or revealing some names who actually deal with drugs. So she's actually going to bring up those slides, which is good to refresh our memory and probably we can actually connect the dot. But Mama, today you got her name correct. Yes, it's Deepti ji. Yes, pretty Deepti ji. For those who joined us now, thank you for joining us tonight. We have Deepti ji on board. She's going to come back with the slides soon. And yes, we're going to touch a little bit on a drug related matter and followed by more contents from Sushant Diaries. Okay, let's see. I'm just waiting for her to load the videos. She just mentioned a big name and she's going to read the slide. She probably would have read it at that point of time. I think probably a month ago, I guess. She have read it before, but now because of certain discoveries or certain, you know, certain things are happening in Mumbai related to drug issue. Like Deepti ma'am said that, why are you targeting Shah Rukh Khan? I don't understand. It could be anyone or anybody's children who's consuming drugs, which is illegal in in most countries in the world. They have to answer for it. Are you telling me, leave him alone and don't do anything to him? So which means it will be applying to all the others in the country, right? So as long as you procure drug, we're not going to do anything because you're not harming others. No, it doesn't make sense at all. Yes, it's taking a lot of time. Yulisa Tracy, hi. Meanwhile, do send message if you have anything to ask. If I can, in between, I'll add on. And I'll ask Deepti Ji. Touching on Ananya Pandey, you know, another young pretty girl. So she's involved in from the chat. It sounds like she's involved in drugs too. It's really sad because all these Bollywood actors, not only the adults, not only the older actors, the matured actors, the young stars are also been looked up upon by the citizen of India or anybody in the world. They look up at you, and when you are doing such a thing, it's like you're telling us that there's no values there. When I look at someone, there's some value that the person carry with them. And when you see these people are taking drugs and they claiming there's nothing wrong taking drugs, why disturbing them is really very sad. Oh, she's telling. Hi, Karim. Let me just highlight yours. Yes, let me just show this. Mr. Sameer Wakande is amazing. I know, I just praying for his safety every day. Karim, hi to you. Okay, I think she need to sort out her videos just to pick out certain things that's related to drugs. Okay, yeah. Mumbai has once upon a time been looked up by so many people around the world. Even when they endorse any products, any brands, there's a lot of people, we promote a lot of people to buy the same stuff that they're using. And now today, when you look at them, they all been questioned and exposed for drug. Uh, Either they buy it or they sell it, or consume it. It's really sad. We tend to ask ourselves this question, um, who have you been looking up upon? I love Deepika Padukone a lot, admire her, but today it's like, what is that we actually see in these people? They're movie stars. We thought, they are amazing, they are above the world, but everything is different now. Yes, Deepti ji.
Yes, Bachchanji. I had saved that particular slide, but I am not finding it now. But I will tell what was written in that. Okay.
Okay, can
So
sure.
he had written that he had expressed surprise at how Shah Rukh Khan, the superstar of Bollywood, what sort of values he has passed on to his children is very much shocking. This was the precise meaning of what he had mentioned. Earlier, when I read it, I couldn't actually make the connection. And now, when Aryan Khan got arrested, okay, and the way all the wolves started coming together and attacking, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
whoever is, encouraging this, win of justice over power and influence,
correct.
because the bail has been rejected thrice,
Yes,
twice by one court and once by other court. So we have politicians like Nawab Malik.
yeah,
They are questioning the agency in any other country. Bachchanji, in any other country, if it had happened, then Nawab Malik would have been in jail.
yeah, yes,
I don't understand why such person is still roaming free. After, an agency is doing a job, instead of congratulating it or appreciating it, okay, they are
they're
trying to pull
condemning
it
it.
down, being
Yeah,
being one of the lawmakers of the country. He's the
Yes.
Minister of Minority Affairs, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
Yes. Deepti, this is the part I probably mention it again when they try to portray that Sushant is a druggie, they make it look like he's taking drugs, since because he's taking drugs, he's a bad person. But today, who is taking drugs? When a superstar son takes drugs, it's okay. He's just a little boy. Why are you? He's not harming anybody. There's nothing wrong in taking drugs. Why are you? Targeting him? Eh,
No, Bachchanji, how hypocritical these people are. I mean, we all are. Okay, it's not the first time. Earlier too, I mean, quite a few years back, Rahul Gandhi was arrested at one of the airports at US with drugs, with banned drugs, okay, narcotics. And it was our then Prime Minister Vajpayee, I think, Vajpayee ji, who interfered and who intervened and got him out. Okay, that was seen as a good gesture at that time. And now we have him as one of the top political leaders of our country. Okay, that
hmm.
gone. Again, Sanjay Dutt. It's a open secret that he is into all sorts of influences. Still, he is a superstar.
There's even a biography movie.
He gets to do movies like Munna Bhai MBBS.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these are very good movies. I am an avid movie watcher. I loved that movie, Munna Bhai MBBS. But what's happening is really sad. You are preaching, but behind the scenes, you are indulging in things
Yeah.
which are anti-national. And then I think Gauri Khan and Suzanne also got,
Yeah.
Suzanne Khan, they also got caught with drugs. Using their power and influence, they managed to come out, of course, every time. And we have seen Shah Rukh Khan, I mean, use abusive language in public, irrespective of whether kids were present or not. The Wankhede Stadium incident, where he misbehaved with the staff. We have overlooked a lot of things. We have overlooked a lot of things. If the mother is caught with drugs and if the father is always into such behavior, what can you expect the upbringing to be?
Yeah. Correct. We can't blame the children when they're actually growing up watching the adults doing certain things. They tend to follow it.
We can't say that we can't blame the children or something because, of course, they are brought up in such kind of
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Like for example, because you see, when I have a child from young, if I keep telling that it's okay doing this, it's okay doing this, he will grow up thinking that it's okay doing it because he sees the parents doing it and the parents saying it's okay doing it. So they will feel that nothing is wrong. So in that sense, yes, I think, let's say for example, we bring up our kids in a different way. So if a drug is exposed to our kids will know that, hey, this is not right, I will not take it, it's, or it's wrong doing it. But when they hear from the parents okay doing it, sometimes it does affect their thoughts, how they take it.
See, this Bachanji, Sushant has made a connection in one of the slides that this drug angle is also connected to human trafficking.
Mm.
Maybe after I mean getting them addicted to drugs and making them making this, there are so many wannabe models, both males and females, who want to enter the industry, who want name and fame, who are interested in the fashion industry. So, and whatever we have come to know from Sushant's drives, okay, drugs flow on the sets of Kapil Sharma's shows. I mean, a drug business, it's not like drugs flow. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. He had made a mention where he said that on the sets of Kapil Sharma's show, Bharati and Kapil and the drugs use movement used to happen on the sets. Okay, I think I have read this slide on your show earlier.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
correct.
so and also IPL after match parties. All sorts of vices are practiced there. drugs, women, escorts. All of this has been mentioned in Sushant's drives as well. Okay, he has taken some names like he said about drugs. I will just read it out. He said that these foreign models are EG carriers, drug carriers. Okay, because they often go undetected, untouched, and the clothing they wear, the eyes that need to take action on and do the checking are actually elsewhere. And 80% of the times they can easily get away. And these models, to themselves, most of them savor it. And hence it becomes even the more easy. All that is needed to be done is feed them, they take care of the rest. And these people, trust me, are loyal and get the job done perfectly. My fingers shiver when I type this, but yes, if this has to stop and the right culture has to come back, some hard realities have to be penned down. And yes, though I am not at all, even for a fraction of a second, comfortable doing this and assassinating the character of women or people, which I have never done, nor I have liked or wanted people to do. So here he says that the foreign models that mostly now there's a trend, right, in Salman Khan's movies, Akshay Kumar movies. The background dancers are from abroad. So
Oh
here
yeah,
he
yeah.
has,
Okay.
yeah. So here he has made that connection. Why these foreign models are brought into? Why we see more foreign models in the on the screens as background dancers nowadays on the stages, and also in IPL as cheerleaders. Okay, so he has made a direct mention connecting the cheerleaders with women trafficking and other things that happen in IPL. And also Bachchan ji, he has mentioned about an incident at Kajrat farmhouse.
Okay.
Okay, wherein he was coming out of the Kajrat farmhouse and he saw how a woman, okay, she hails a cab, okay, and without the knowledge of the cab driver, she makes him go round and round in circles, acting something on phone
Oh yeah, yeah. This
as if
was
talking. Yes, yes,
yes.
and traps the driver and he makes calls using the driver's phone, saying that she doesn't have a phone or her charge is over or something. She makes those calls using the driver's phone to different peddlers. Okay. And what ultimately happens is that the driver is arrested for peddling drugs because it was through his phone that she made the calls. And um, by the time Sushant could help him or talk to him, this driver had committed suicide.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so he made this mention to show how these drugs are carried around. Young children are brought into it, young children from slums, uneducated children, they are brought into it as carriers. Okay, what you have to do is you just have to give them once, they get addicted. And if
Mm.
they want more, since they can't afford, go and get business for us. So they go and get more clients in turn. This is what they do to people with no money. And people with money are always their targets. Right.
There was, I mean, I spoke in the beginning of the show before you came in, Deepti ji. There was another video, I can't remember which one I was watching, was it Republic World or something like that? There are some people commenting, what's wrong in him taking drugs? He's not harming anybody, it's his own business, whether you take it or you don't take it, you shouldn't be going after him, shouldn't be punishing him and all that. But they fail to realize drugs is actually being is illegal is because it is harmful not only to the person who's taking it, because the friends around him or the people who's watching him tend to get influenced to do it too. So this spreads. So if there's no control or there's no law in the country, imagine what will happen.
Who, I mean, I'm just trying to understand the psychology of the people who question this. See, drugs are not something which just give you pleasure or something. They are an harmful evil for the society. whoever has asked this question, let me tell you how big a evil this drug menace is. Punjab. Most of you might have seen the movie Urta Punjab.
Yeah, yeah, I saw.
Okay. So Punjab, it's one of the bordering states. And Punjabis are known for their valor, generosity, charity. And the most important fact is that, and the most important fact is that Punjabis are known to stand by their beliefs. What they think is right, they will stand by it, and no matter whatever force comes in front of them, they are not someone who will budge an inch even. So, by the people who wanted to, because Punjab is a bordering state, so many things. I mean, if you need to smuggle something into the country, smuggle some anti-nationals into the country, you need to weaken the people of the state. So it was a well thought out destruction of the entire state of Punjab. Today, most of the youth, they are addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, drugs, yeah, drugs, if some hearsay reports are to be believed, it was with the help of some politicians, some who own some educational institutions, and some politicians otherwise as well. It is with their knowledge that the drugs have been systematically spread across Punjab. They gave access to the peddlers, backdoor access to the peddlers to the youth of Punjab. Okay, so now we see that it has weakened the entire fabric of Punjab as of now. The state is, I mean, like it's not what Punjabis are known for.
Okay.
Okay, so like there's a term called character building of a nation or of a state. They have broken the moral of the state by getting them addicted to drugs, because drugs affect your thought process, right?
Yeah, yeah. When you're also high in it, you tend to do things. I mean, things which is not allowed to be done. Things are inhumane. It just make you won't realize what you're doing.
You won't realize what we are
Yeah.
doing. And if someone like a celebrity's son, whom lot of people follow, okay, who has a lot of fan following, his son does this, okay, does drugs, so his fans will follow it. And if this is the logic
Yes.
that they are using, that he
Yes.
didn't do any harm to others, he indulged in it. So that means if you tomorrow you are trying to spread this message to all those millions of fans of yours that it's okay to do drugs,
Exactly.
okay, that means you are affecting an entire generation. So a common person or an unknown person caught taking drugs is different, and such a big personality's son caught taking drugs is different. Let me give you the example of Jackie Chan here.
Okay.
Jackie Chan's son too was caught with drugs. But what he did was that he donated all his money. He wrote away all his money to charity. In the will, he kicked him off. Jackie Chan kicked his son off from his will, from his, he cleared him of all legal entitlements to his money or to his name. He set an example. He set an example. That is what was expected of Shah Rukh Khan too, if he is an ideal human being, which of course he is not. But I request his fans as well. I agree, it's hard on you. It's hard on you that when you see that your idol has not only feats of clay, but feats even weaker than, if there is any even weaker material than clay. Okay, it's hard to accept that. But that doesn't mean that you endorse what is wrong just because it's done by your idol.
Yeah.
You don't know your idol. You're coming to know about things. Kindly criticize or praise the actions. Do not do idol worship of human beings.
I think this was also mentioned in an interview. I think the interview Mr. Sameer Wankheded. He said the same thing. The youth of India do not idol the the wrong thing.
He is such a dedicated officer,
Yeah.
Sameer Wankheded sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I have met him. I have met him this year, and I mean, he's a PA. See, they say like the king, like the subjects, right? So naturally, the entire atmosphere in NCB Mumbai was like they were, I mean, very eager to welcome people who had informations. And Sameer Wankheded sir was like working day in and day out. I have never seen, I mean, like officers. I have seen officers with pot bellies sitting in AC rooms and all, but I have never. But I saw him in action. I don't know. Now let me tell you. I mean, it sounds funny, but
Yeah. No wonder he's sleep. I guess he's running around a lot.
so when you have some officers with pot bellies sitting in AC, you see the entire station also functions the same way, like the CBI in Mumbai. Okay, they were just simply not responsive. They even didn't have an idea who Nupur Prasad is, if that was a woman or a man. I mean, they were asking me such questions.
Is it?
Finally, some senior officer came and gave me some information. But the one who is at the entrance, okay, or the reception, they were totally unresponsive and not cooperative. As they say, "Yatho Raja Tato Praja." Okay. So there, the atmosphere is like that because there is no no sincere officer like Wankhede working over there. Okay, in NCB, right from his PA to even the person serving tea, you will find a great difference in their attitude or approach towards people and work. Okay, so coming back to the topic here, Sushant has also mentioned how these drugs are circulated. In detail, he has gone about it. I'll just read a small portion of it, Bachchanji.
Okay.
Okay, I have read it. Yeah. Yeah, and one other thing that Jackie Chan did was that he requested the government not to give special consideration to his son.
Yeah. Because he
Okay.
knows they have to set a good example, you see. Because a lot of people are looking up
Yes,
at them.
exactly.
Yeah.
He never came out in support of his son.
Yes.
Okay. Rather, he came out with a story. He came out and told his fans a story. Right. He set an example. I mean, he set an example of ideal and values. I mean, such should be the people whom you follow. And what do we have here happening in India? We have a Jackie Chan apologizing to his fans for what his son did. And we have Shah Rukh Khan.
I mean, it's okay to feel for a child. I mean, any parents would feel it. But when something is wrong is done for the
Bachchanji, did I
benefit.
say story that Jackie Chan
Yes.
came out? No, he came out and told sorry to his fans.
Okay.
Okay, just want to yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I was saying that I mean, any parents will feel when when the child go through this. I agree on that. But sometimes when a wrong thing is done, such kind of action, whatever the NCB is doing, you will make the child realize, oh, this is illegal. I should not be doing it again. This is harmful. I should not be doing it. It's a learning process for them.
No, unfortunately, Bachchanji, I mean, India is going.
There's
I don't
one.
see.
There's one.
This is absolutely. I mean, ridiculous that we have on social media people arguing what wrong has he done.
Yeah.
He is being targeted. So let
Yes.
me tell you here that NCB has made like more than 240 arrests since in the past 10 months. Okay. Out of them, only this few, I mean, whose names you have known, are celebrities. What about the rest? Where were all of them? Why didn't they come and say that all of them were also being targeted? And what's happening? I mean, do we, the public of India, the citizens of India, do we deserve actually these people? Actually, we deserve such people only, I think so.
There's one comment. I mean, the same thing in social media. The guy is saying that, come on, there are some countries are doing it. India is backward. I was like, oh, so when you don't encourage drugs, India is backward. Then how about those other countries who are actually not encouraging drugs? All those countries are backward, and those few countries that encourage drugs are not backward. It sounds really stupid when I actually saw the messages.
See, if we have to argue at that level, I mean, at such a low level, then I would say then we should call Dubai a backward country too, for not allowing first aid, because their tradition, their
Yeah,
tradition doesn't allow
correct,
them to. I mean, first aid by passers-by or commoners. Okay,
correct, correct.
so they would rather have a person die than break the tradition. So, is Dubai backward? You won't call such countries backward, but you will call India backward for sticking to principles, for not for sticking to rules which will protect the upcoming generations, the future generations. I just remember one thing which Sameer Sir's PA told me, Sharadji, that he has only one dream. We have only one dream. We have to eradicate this drug menace, first from Mumbai, then gradually for the country. This is eating up. This is eating up the future of our country.
Yeah. Believe me, I mean, if you don't have I mean, it's a good thing we have a person like Sameer Wakande. If they're going to let it loose and, don't take any actions, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And what's going to happen to the younger citizens of India?
They have made it a circus on the mainstream media, total circus. Just imagine, Bachchanji, if the entire, I mean, if the media was true to its job, we don't need so many channels as such. There are so much of competition for to top that competition, to top that TRP race and all. They resort to all such gimmicks, and ultimately they are controlled. All that matters to them is money. Okay. So in all this, the biggest casualty is the fourth pillar of democracy, which, if it had been true to its profession, would have ensured that we had a crime-free and a clean society, even if the other three pillars of the society were not functioning properly. Such is the power of the media. Such is the power of the media that even if the other three pillars of the democracy, the executive, the legislature, and what's the third one? Okay. The fourth pillar, even if they were not functioning well, the fourth pillar would have united the country, created an uproar, and would have ensured that the society remained clean. But what is the media doing now? Shah Rukh Khan has an emotional union with his son. Is that what I mean? Image cleanup. That I don't know who. I mean, who is the director of all this? But pretty bad it is. And to all those people, I would like to say, till now, I was like, okay, it's their choice. But now, if you ignore all this and still support the heroes and say that they are being targeted and all, then let me tell you, the next generation, our next generation, or their next generation, everyone will be a druggie. The moment they attain the age of 13 or 14, they will be into drugs, into girls. This will be the future of our country and of our society.
I mean, the girls especially, then they be abused sexually. They be abused in so many other ways when they get into drugs.
That's happening. That's happening. That's happening.
Anyway, it's really very sad, but I hope whatever things that's happening now is for the good. I hope we have someone like Sameer Wakande in the CBI investigating Sushant's case, because so far there's no news. But Deepti, do you? I mean, we probably will be moving to you. Maybe you can read one or two slides, the latest slides. Yeah, we can actually move on to that soon. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make a few other mentions actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Um, okay. So he has made this mention wherein he says this chapter will have a detailed explanation to all the introductions done in the earlier slides, and also shall cover all the common angles on how drugs are used for everything and how it is stored and transported too. This work did not have my direct involvement but was done by Sameer and Disha, and hence I have made sure I have verified the facts before writing this down. And today, both Sameer and Disha are no more.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if we are okay with all this injustice, I mean, poor girl, she was brutally and mercilessly murdered for, I mean, helping Sushant, is
Yes.
what the drives were telling. For helping Sushant to, in, collecting material to expose the illegal activities of the celebrities, because she was a celebrity manager, right? She was a
Yeah.
celebrity manager. She was celebrity manager for Aishwarya Roy, and she was Aishwarya Rai, and a lot of other celebrities too. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when someone tries to do the right thing, it's like the evil around it. It's like, you're not one of us. Let me get rid of you. You know,
Yeah. If
that's what's
and
happening.
See, that's what happening, and we are now becoming aware of it, right?
Yeah, that's a. I mean, thanks to Sush. I mean, not thanks in that sense. He have opened up the Pandora box that today we are actually knowing a lot of things that's happening, a lot of things we are not known of, because we also idolize these people. So
if we still continue to remain deaf, dumb, forget these things soon, then trust me, the time is not far when it will come knocking on your doors. Okay.
yeah,
All right. So, Bachchan ji, is there some confusion here that the thing that I told Sameer, and today Sameer and Disha are no more? That is something which I have told. That's not written
yeah,
in the drives.
that's something that you said.
Yeah,
I
that is
mean,
something that I told.
yes.
Did it come across as having read from the slides?
I thought, yeah, it was.
No, 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 no. Let me make it clear here.
Okay.
The only thing that is written in the drives is this chapter will have a detailed explanation to all the introductions done in the earlier slides, and also shall cover all the common angles on how drugs are used for everything and how it is stored and transported too. This work did not have my direct involvement but was done by Sameer and Disha, and hence I have made sure I have verified the facts before writing this down. This much was written by Sushant. I added that and today Sameer and Disha are no more.
Oh, okay.
This is
Okay.
what this
Yeah.
is what I
Yeah.
am saying.
Yeah.
He has mentioned Sameer and Disha that they were working on the drugs angle, how it is stored and transported, right?
Yeah.
So it is my input. I am saying that today both Sameer and Disha are no more. Sameer died in a mysterious way, and Disha we all know,
Yeah. Got it.
though she was found, I mean, without
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah. That's really sad.
I mean, the police did a lousy job, and they are not. There is no punishment. What is happening in our country? I don't understand this.
I don't know whether
Until
it's a
how long?
lousy job
Till
or I should,
you know,
instead of saying it's a lousy job, the police is not doing a job. They're not doing their
it's
job
not
at all.
about not doing a job. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how can everything be manipulated from post-mortem reports to your, police records to court documents? I mean, everything is being more manipulated if you have money, power, and influence. So, I
Yeah.
mean, what sort of times are we living in? What is happening? What is happening in our country today? Are we okay with it?
It is heading in a very terrible direction, But to be very frank, it's not easy because I realized in India there's a freedom of speech. So when the authorities do the right thing to ensure that no wrong things will happen, they are being questioned. So I really hats off to the Prime Minister of India. It's not easy handling a country where people, when they feel what they're doing is right, even though it's wrong, they really voice out saying that the authorities are wrong for whatever they are doing. Not easy.
Uh, well, but that we elected him because he we saw him as a strong leader, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This
He is.
is not happening. This is not happening actually. One can't stay mute to all these, I mean, arrogance and atrocities by the Maharashtra government, the police, the CBI. Since more than a year now, I mean, people have been requesting and sending petitions, letters, requests, and not a single word of acknowledgement or assurance. At least, I do understand it's not easy.
But Dipti ji, there's a question, why is it none of the news channel, the news media platform is covering Sushant's case at all? Where did the instruction come from not to cover the story?
This is something which they can answer better.
Yeah, whether
This is,
there's
see,
any
the
update or
answer,
not.
see, I'm not surprised. I was a little bit surprised that Sushant's case was covered in the mainstream media, even till certain time. Because in Srideviji's case, I had thought that if the media came to know about what's happening and what really happened, if I showed them the proofs, it will be a wildfire. But strangely, there was total
Yeah,
silence.
yeah.
That was a shock for me. So, what's happening in Sushant's case now is what has happened to me since 2018 with regards to Srideviji's case. Total silence.
Hmm.
Here in at least Arnab Goswami of Republic, he from time to time he does mention some points and all.
Yeah.
But
There's Times Now also actually was covering it also in a big way, followed by Republic World. Um, well, I do not know whether they're doing it for the sake of for their
see,
TRP points. But
now what do
they
I say? See, what do I say? Because even in Srideviji's case, Arnab Goswami, for 2 or 3 days, he kept asking questions. He kept raising doubts on the accidental drowning theory. And he kept asking questions. He said that we will not stay quiet till these questions are answered. And suddenly the news dies down after 3 days.
Yeah,
The
actually, I
public,
read the news. I
the public,
watched that particular news where he had a panel of members, and then there's one of the member. I think it's a doctor. He said he was talking about the bloating part. For a body to bloat, full of water, it will take actually a longer period of time.
no, there were a lot of, I mean, there were a set of 10 questions or so that he had
Yeah.
asked. I mean, the news clips are there all over the net as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had asked some very logical questions. If this is the case, how did this happen? If this is the case, how did this happen? Where are the call records? And a lot of questions. We need an answer. Okay, he is very convincing, right? We will not stay silent till we get the answers to this, right? But then what happened? I would
Yeah,
like
what
to
happened?
ask. I would like to ask this question to Arnab Goswami. He knows about Srideviji's case. What's happening with Srideviji's case? Why didn't he give it a coverage?
Correct.
So, though many people appreciate him and support him for raising doubts over Sushant's death, okay, and then raising voice against Mumbai police, whatever, corruption and all that. But I have my own set of questions as well. So I'm not able to appreciate that support that the people are giving to Anup's farm. Right. So there are a lot of other factors as well, Bachchanji. So what I have gone through, what I have experienced since taking up Srideviji's case, this 2-3 years, people are coming to know now. Right.
Yeah, correct.
So shall we go ahead
Yeah.
and read some
Yep.
slides?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
G.
Please give me a minute.
Okay. Okay, we have pour out whatever frustration we have, including Deepti Ji for not getting any justice, be it Sri Devi's case, be it Sushant case, be it Disha Salian case, be it Jia Khan's case. A lot of cases are not being even been solved yet. So now we are moving into the next part whereby Deepti Ji going to read a couple of slides, the latest slides. So do be patient and wait. Let me just meanwhile read some of the messages. Hi, Paromita Dar. More I heard, more I wonder what a genius of Sushant is. Great salute to SSR. Thank you, Deepti ma'am. Okay, Mitra, true Deepti Ji, you were shocking all of a sudden. Everything made silence. Yeah. I think this silence part is once they mentioned that they have been told by the agencies. I don't know, not by the agencies or by whom that they should not speak about Sushant case on the news platform. So I wonder why. Okay, it's very sad to see and hear all these atrocities done to righteous people. Very disheartening. Yes, your granny. Hi, Chandramadi. Yes. Pandian from Malaysia. Hi, Pandian. Okay. For those actually who speak Tamil, அடுத்து வந்து டிப்டி ஜி 2-3 ஸ்லைட்ஸ படிப்பாங்க. இதுக்கு முன்னால வந்து என்ன பேசப்பட்டதுன்னா, அந்த ட்ரக் கேஸ் வந்து இந்தியால நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. ஜோனல் டைரக்டர் சமீர் வாக்காண்டே வந்து ரொம்ப பிரமாதமா மித்ராவோட பாஷையில சொன்னா வச்சு வச்சு வாங்குறாரு. தட்ஸ் ஹவ் மித்ரா ஸ்பீக். நல்லா இருக்கும் கேட்கறதுக்கு அவங்க சொல்லும்போது. வச்சு வாங்குறாரு. எஸ் ஹி இஸ் டூயிங் எ வண்டர்ஃபுல் ஜாப். பாராட்டத்தக்க ஒரு விஷயம். கெட்டவங்களுக்கு நடுவுல நெறைய கெட்டவங்களுக்கு நடுவுல ஒரு நல்லவர் இருக்கும்போது, இந்த மாரி பாடுபடுறாருன்னு சொல்லும்போது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. அவர் மாதிரி ஒருத்தர் வந்து சிபிஐல இருந்து சுஷாந்த் கேஸ வந்து சால்வ் பண்ணா நல்லாருக்கும். பட் சுஷாந்த் கேஸ் வந்து ஏன் இன்னும் வந்து வெளிய வரல? ஏன் பேசப்படல? ஒரு நியூஸும் வரல. ஐ ரியலி டூ நாட் நோ. That is actually the frustration of DPG because she went to the CBI office, she went and spoke, she have the diaries, and yet even until today ஒரு நியூஸும் இல்ல. So she is also frustrated. What's happening? Paramita, sorry, hurt. Okay. Don't worry, G, we are getting justice. Yes, Mitra. Yes, we both of us have mentioned this in when we had the last video in my channel. When karma, there's no such thing as karma. You don't pay back for your karma. Uh, there is a payback indirectly. Of course, Sushanoட வகையில வந்து not payback இருந்தாலும், in other ways of name in expose. I don't know. Maybe somehow or other they're involved in Sushant's case and his death. That somehow the name are exposing. That's what I feel. A lot of names are being exposed. Be it some minister's name, be it some big Bollywood names. A lot have been exposed. For example, you wanted to make Sushant a druggie, make him look bad. Now, who's looking bad? Totally agree with you, Mitra. Okay. Yes. நல்லவர்களுக்கு நிச்சயமாக கடவுள் வந்து துணை புரிவார். அதுதான் உண்மை. அவர் வந்து உடனே வந்து பதில் சொல்ல ஈவன் God doesn't answer immediately. He will eventually answer. So there's a lot of things happening now. There's actually the proof of what I just said. Okay, I think she's sorting out the slides. Waiting for her. Okay. I think there's one recent interview. Mr. Sameer Wankhede have said that he's being followed, his family is being attacked, and all that. This is really, really ridiculous. instead of praising or feeling proud for what he have done, instead of supporting him, putting him through such things is really not fair to him. But despite all this, nothing stopped him, or nothing is stopping him. That's our hero, Sameer Wakande. You know, yes. First, when I talk about druggies in Sushant's after Sushant's death, Rakul Preet Singh, Sara Ali Khan, then you have I think Shraddha Kapoor. I think her name was mentioned. Deepika Padukone, and a few other names, and Dino Moria, and there's another name I forgot already. Forgot there's one other name. And just when we realized that, I mean, there was there's one I think actress who also actually shared in a I think it's Republic World or some other show, sharing that in all, not in all, some of the productions after they have done with the shooting and all that, they have a big time drug party. Yes, Deepti ji.
So sorry, Bachanji, for these disruptions actually.
No, 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 no. It's okay. No problem.
Actually, I was caught up in some unexpected work till the last moment, so I couldn't get to actually
It's
get
okay.
in
It's
time.
okay. No problem. I get to talk to my viewers too.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I'll start reading now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Can.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
So, keeping all the controversies aside, and just to understand this as a case study to find out what are all the connected angles that form the subject, this is very much required. And let me make one statement loud and clear here. I'm not against the legal system or am raising any kind of allegation on the legal system in the country, but the points that I want to raise here are very much the need of the hour. And we all need to be aware of what is happening and how the parameters and the priorities change if there is someone who has wings attached to him comes into the picture. What I mean by wings here is someone who is influential, has the status in the society, and has the money power to keep them intact. Let's begin with a letter written to the Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi. And the letter raised a lot of pointers, which was soon rubbished by the Adani group. But what happened, everyone forgot here, is that what I said when I began this chapter, even the cleverest of the cleverest crimes leave one trace behind, which can prove costly here. I would say it was not a crime, but a massive cover up, which was played very carefully. But what everyone forgot was that the ink on the papers does not fade away. And these are the same papers which are shouting out that every word that was spoken or written is true or false. Sometimes we tend to forget the basics. That's when everything starts connecting. When someone wants to learn what is going wrong from a neutral angle. Now, getting back to the letter first, let me quote the letter as it was written, and then we shall discuss around this letter as to why this letter makes total sense. And why is it that the points that were mentioned in the letter, I strongly feel, were buried down just to ensure that no one faces any kind of trouble. The biggest flaw that we had all our lives was everything was in front of us, but we never open our eyes. There were multiple reasons for this, but the main reasons for this can be summed up as follows. One, we are not aware what are our rights and what are our duties that we need to perform. Two, we have this attitude of taking everything easy till it actually affects us. Three, we run away from our social responsibilities. Four, we tend to believe people who have a following, huge following, without even trying to verify facts. Just a second, please. Okay. There are a lot other points that can be added here, but the whole point, no matter whatever permutations and combinations you do, would sum up to these points. And if you feel anything else needs to be added here that does not fail in this, that does not fall in this, and you feel could be added, you are free to do it. The extract's key points from the letter are as follows. A team of 4 judges from Supreme Court in a press conference in January 2018 quoted that administration of Supreme Court is not in order and many things which are less than desirable have happened in the last few months. And then the letter went on to quote some judgments which the writer felt would end up being a huge question mark on the justice system in our country. It also went on to point out that how some cases were assigned by the prior Chief Justice of the SCI to benches of their preference without any rational basis for any of these assignments, which the person who wrote this letter felt it was wrong. The letter went on to point out how situations in the court was going from bad to worse. And there were many cases wherein there was a political angle or cases having national interest and institutional angles were involved. Then the benches assigned were the same and had no rational connection why these benches were not assigned. The biggest surprise for the entire legal fraternity came when the Chief Justice of India constituted benches for the summer vacation of 2019, which included himself. Besides him was Justice Mr. Arun Mishra, and he was the senior most amongst the working judges in the Supreme Court of India. Till date in the history, a senior judge never sat during a vacation, and what made matters even worse was that the sitting judge ruled out certain judgments which resulted in shocking outcomes, whatever be the justification given for this step. One such matter, the sole reason for me to take this up and give it a serious thought, was the bench comprising of Justice Arun Mishra, believed to be very close to Gautam Adani, and Justice M.R. Shah, believed to be very close to both Adani and Ambani, took up civil appeal number 9023 of 2018. This case is between Parsa Kenta Collieries Limited versus Rajasthan Rajya Vidyut Utpadan Nigam Limited. Now, the contention here that amused me is that the former is a part of Adani Group, and the surprising way this case was taken up as there was no order issued for the matter to be heard by a vacation bench, by any regular bench, and the matter was not at all urgent when compared to other matters that were pending from a long time. Strangely, the appeal was considered because there was a special leave petition that was filed, SLP clause SLPC number 18586 of 2018, in which the leave was granted only on August 24, 2018. The judges' bench comprised of Justice Nariman and Justice Malhotra. If you do some groundwork around this and follow up with these cases, you will see for yourself how the manipulations did happen. I did not want to feed anything to anyone, but if someone really wants to get to the root of the matter, be it anything, then his own personal effort and judgment is very much required. So, here, what I feel is the best, keeping the general good in mind, is that anyone who wants to know further on these topics should do some work around it themselves. It's not that hard, and there is no much rocket science involved in all these things. There is a lot of information on these in the public domain, and you can go through them. If not, the judgments ruled out by the courts is also available. All you need to do is do a little work around it, and all the information will be out there for us to refer. and make our own conclusions on this matter. Not for a second do I doubt that allegations should not be raised, but sometimes thus happens that certain facts end up being allegations just because there is nothing to go along with it, which can be counted as a solid evidence. But then I ask myself, would there be smoke without fire? Now, here too, the one thing that we as humans need to understand is that how can we make out which fact turned into an allegation and what are the grounds for us to conclude that whether the allegation raised was actually true. Sometimes some issues that are raised which die down with time or just fade away leave behind some pointers. And these pointers can stand out as a witness to the fact that there could have been a possibility that some vested interests never let the matter get to the desired result it should have. Nothing much can be done in such cases, but it definitely serves as an eye opener. But again, that is up to our individual capacities of understanding. The beauty of psychology is that it's always a new subject. Every mind is different. Every thought process is different. Conclusions, understanding, adapting, each and every feeling or emotion is different with each mind. Of course, some minds come together on the same bridge, but then the thought process remains unique. This is one of the main reasons that the thought process becomes the target. The learned people always say, what flows in your mind shows in your character, body language. So it's very important for us to have clean thoughts, and we need to have control over the negative and wrong thoughts. Society will be a beautiful place to live in if each one of us makes it a point to understand that we are nothing but the outcome of our thoughts. But what pains the most is that these issues were out there for us to see. This was happening right in front of our eyes. We were played along all this while just because we did not have that sense of judgment to conclude what exactly was happening. Because the way all this happened, I feel we were blinded with the fake masks these people wore and the shine those masks had. But it is never too late. It's part time now that some actions are taken and some results are sought. We got to take this up. This is the only choice left. If we have options, then we can get diverted to make or break anything. The first thing that comes into this picture is how we go ahead with the issue on hands. Is this as important to us as our breathing? Is it as important to us as our breathing is, or we can let go of it and still breathe? We all need to understand this and get it deep into our system. If we do this, then there is no looking back. Results will come, but yes, it might stretch for some time, but it's worth it because the time taken by these people to grow into the position they are in today, when taken into consideration, it's nothing but obvious that it will take some time for us to break through and dig this out from the roots. Indeed, it's challenging, but it's worth it because in the end, when we reach the bottom, we will have the last laugh. It's not a huge price to pay because nothing comes to us without an effort, without we making an effort. Now, in the next few set of slides, let's dig a little deeper into these names so that we understand the entire thing. And also here, I feel we will get to know a lot of things that we have been missing all this while. Some I'm not sure what conclusions can we make, but the fact that remains for me is I'm going to make note of everything that I'm going to encounter when I am on this journey. But then it is up to the people to decide how and what has to be done next. The only reason all this is happening today is because we never had the complete picture in front of our eyes. Various reasons for this, we could not see through what was happening. We never understood what was going around because we never tried to. We were always so busy with our daily life activities and also blinded with the celebrity status that these people had gained. Doubts never made it to our minds. The biggest being the media houses playing a war amongst themselves, and in this fight, okay, where was I? All right. The biggest thing, the media houses playing a war amongst themselves, and in this fight of who is supreme, truth was overtaken by gossip kind of news, and truthful content that used to come out once upon a time slowly started getting replaced with fabricated content. Number two, we never asked questions. I do not want to write anything here for this point because it was each one's mistake that we never raised our voice on the issues that were on hand. And we never even made an effort for it. We just carried on with the flow. Number three, sometimes our upbringing. If someone wants to misunderstand here, I cannot help it. But yes, sometimes I feel it's our upbringing that is making the difference. Our upbringing sometimes gives me the feel that we were taught diplomacy from a very young age, and sometimes corruption too. On the lighter note, this point here is a generalized scenario. I would sum it up as follows. I always speak the truth and never stand with what is wrong. But we are actually allowed to do this. I'm sorry. I will repeat this, Bachchanji.
Yep, okay.
I would sum it up as follows. Number one, always speak the truth and never stand with what is wrong. But are we actually allowed to do this? I do not think it is. Because if this was the case, when someone wanted to stand up for the truth or make a strong point, did we not have fill all kinds of shit in the mind of the person who wanted to do this? Then what was the point when in our young days we were taught to stand on the side of the truth? Number two, comparisons. Life was a race from the day we were born. Be it the grades in school, be it in sports, be it in any aspect or stream of life you want to choose from. There was comparison everywhere. And I do not think I need to write volumes here on what I am trying to say. If we go back and think about our own lives, most of us will fill this up themselves. Though some selected lucky people had that blessing by default, where they were given that option to follow their own mind and take their own decisions. I consider myself too lucky here, very lucky. Number three, social values and etiquettes. We always were taught to stay away from bullying and turn a blind eye to people who are trying to gain advantage out of people. Be it anything here, like a fight happening in front of your eyes or whatever here, I do not want to elaborate the matter, and I am sure the people are wise enough to understand the subject and also the context in which I am making this point. I have made these points in the past, and the reason I am making a mention of it here again is just because when we get into the controversial pages of our history, these lines are very much required to be revised, because we need to have that neutral and that mindset wherein we make that effort to understand the things first and then decide on it. The biggest mistake we do as humans is we decide first and then try and understand what is the matter and why we took the decision in the first place. The day we stop this, we will have a much better viewpoint in life actually. My question to all those learned people, if you teach us the value of truth and loyalty in an early age and yet want us to close our eyes when something wrong is happening in front of our eyes, what is the need for us to be taught these values at a young age? Why this contradiction? And my question to God here is, if you wanted all of us to think the same and do what is being told to us to do, why do you give us brains? Why did you give us the power to think and analyze? Think, guys, it's in us. We can get this. It's just that we are not thinking. to our full capacity. Unfortunately, there is no one to be blamed here, but the situations that we are being in makes us get used to it. But the one point that needs to be adapted in life to help us keep going is that we have it in us, and it's just that we have not thought thought that deep, or we are not ready to go that deep within ourselves. God gave us this life and has given us a brain, not for us to blindly follow what is being thrown at us. If that was the case, then God, who is believed to always give us the best, would never have given us a brain at all in the first place. The only reason that organ is in our body is because that organ has a specific task to do, and we need to give it the task for why it is in our system, to become better individuals. I agree, nothing happens within the blink of an eye, but something has to start, right? And there is no tomorrow. If you want to succeed, what has to be done today has to be done now, should be done in this moment, and should be acted upon. I'm sorry if I am venting it out here, but the only thing I fail to understand is that why do we need to follow things blindly when we know for sure that if we use our brains a little and think for ourselves and follow ourselves, is it a mandate? We will follow the crowd. That is the entire difference. If we do this, please remember this forever. The thoughts that come in our mind, we got to streamline it for our benefit. The biggest war a man can fight is within himself, to keep this thought process of his in check and have definite boundaries to his perceptions, but keep the exploring aspects of it to infinity. Simply means that we should be open to learning. And the last one, the face of this earth, to make a judgment. Before making a judgment, ask yourself this question, and keep asking this question before you make any judgment. Then see how life will be beautiful. Where will this judgment place me in the next 5 years? Once I am there, will I have to look back on this judgment and repent over it? Or will it fill my face with a smile? Before you judge anyone, think about this one line that I have mentioned here today. Okay, so Bachanji, here the last slides, you wanted me to read the latest slides today, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so the latest slides, most of it has his thought process. Okay.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
he thinks about the society and all. So
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. But there's one question I wanted to ask you while you was reading. It just came to my mind. You've been actually decoding all his his diaries. So far, whatever you decoded, I mean, for us, whatever information that you are reading in this, I mean, we read through your Twitter account. For us, everything is new. We have never heard of this. It's something new for us. It's an awareness for us. But I'm sure you being there, most of the stuff there is something probably you know that this is something that you would have known, right? But is there something that he wrote, or is there anything he wrote in the diary that you felt that, hey, this is new to me? I never knew about this. Was there
no,
such a kind of content?
there are a lot of things actually. I mean, I just knew a general picture of it. I didn't know it this deep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but the one thing here is that even before Sushant, he has also mentioned it in his slides that even before Sushant, there have been people who wanted to expose it. They have done some work. And Sridevi ji too. Okay, because while we were investigating into her death, we came across certain documents and drives that she had collected. Okay, so but Sushant has documented it in a way that people can understand what is happening,
Okay. Okay.
because all these are interlinked. He started from digging into the Bollywood's illegal activities like money laundering and women trafficking and drugs and all. He started exploring into that, and then came the doubts. And then, yes, I wanted to add this, Bachchanjit. And then in one of the slides, he mentioned that he had met Parambir Singh, who was the CP of police then, and he had, shared these informations with him about the drugs angle and other informations. So initially, Paramveer Singh had shown some interest. That's what he says. Okay, but later, the confidential information which Sushant shared with Paramveer Singh, it came from Suraj Pancholi's mouth.
I think I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
He actually came
So,
and asked him about it.
hmm.
Why you're doing that? Yeah.
So, if you're saying that, if your question is that if I have come across I have come across some experience, of course. But what makes this work of Sushant different is that he has documented it. Everyone can't do that.
Yeah.
I have a journey of, it's more of a roller coaster ride actually. Because so many truths. I too was like of the same, like people were before Sushant's death. I too used to believe that our system is there to protect us and this and that and everything. It's fair and all. But the actual truth, unfortunately, when I wanted to bring justice to a superstar, to one of the biggest superstars of the country, the kind of response I got from the authorities, the agencies, it actually shook me to the core. I mean, it was, it shook me to reality, in fact. Unfortunately, reality is not as, I mean, uh, what do you say, as
Wasn't
fair as it
pleasant.
is being shown.
Oh,
Yeah, as pleasant. Yeah. As a situation. We are being not shown the truth. But we know it. But we have been ignoring it. Okay, so everything that is happening today, every bad thing that is happening today, okay, be it this pandemic or be it the frequent natural disasters in Uttarakhand, we had in Kerala, and it's too frequent all over the world. This is the indirect result of the greed
yeah.
of such people whom we
You-
have been tolerating since decades.
Deepti, the word greed is an understatement. I do not know
Yes, of
how to
course.
describe it. It's just it's like it's too mild to use even a greed. It's terrible.
I don't know what they will do taking all this and where they will go.
Yeah, it's like. I do know people have greed, but this is I. We need to find a new
But
word for this.
okay, fine. You have greed, whatever it is. Okay. But it has to be sustainable, right? Have greed. Then you should also greed for it to have a longevity, right?
Yes, yes.
But if your greed is, growing to this extent that everything is getting destroyed in the process,
Yeah,
whom will you rule then? Whom will you rule then? What will be left to rule then?
correct.
Right?
Yeah. But there's a
So this is
lot of.
one point they are not understanding. This is one point they are not understanding.
I don't think they will even understand that. Probably at their deathbed, I hope they will realize that looking back in their life what they have done. But even then, I think there's slim chance even they will realize at that point of time, because such kind of greed, I think I have to use the word they are beyond help.
No, see, they are very, 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 what do you say, powerful. They are decision makers, if you say. And if I am not too sure about it, there is this, if you just Google it, New World Order and all. Okay, some say it's a conspiracy theory, and some say it's a truth that is being hidden or something. So all these influential elites or whatever, such, they plan to get together, and since the Earth's resources are limited and they are getting depleted, and if at the rate that the demand is there now and the human population and all, they want to decrease it by, I don't know who has given them the right to decide whom to wipe off, how many people
Yeah.
to wipe off, and what,
Yeah.
if this is true. But that's what it is. And if we continue to be herd of sheep, okay, then tomorrow anything can happen. We should be ready for it too. Because if we are not fighting for it today, then we should not cry what will happen later.
Mm.
Our lives will not be in our control. Anytime anything can happen, you can simply be.
True.
So,
True.
yeah, if you're okay with it, continue being a herd of sheep.
Mm. Another question is, I mean, of course, even for Sushant case, the investigation started, and let's say even the NCBs, I mean, they submitted a charge sheets where Ria Chakravarti was also Siddharth Pitani, and now the latest case, Aryan Khan and all that. But at the end of the day, does NCB's effort? I hope it will not go to waste, because also believe that after some time, all this woo-ha news all coming out, eventually will cool down, because eventually he's going to get bail. Eventually, the case will go quiet. So I don't know what will happen.
No,
Okay, what's your
see,
opinion? What will happen out of the current situation for Aryan Khan's
why
case?
should we? Why should we make assumptions? That's what I'm saying. See, because right now what we can do is that we can support the NCB. They are doing a good job. And if we talk like this now, and if they, it's sort of, I mean, they will get disgraced too. See, no
But
one
okay,
expected, because I didn't expect when I heard of Aryan Khan's arrest, I didn't expect to stay inside for more than 48 hours.
yeah, correct.
Okay, and look at
But they
the
really,
kind
they
of,
really, they
yeah, I
really, I
mean, the
mean,
NCB,
fighting to hold him back on bail. Yeah,
Mr. Anil, I think NCB lawyer, I mean, they're fighting it. They're fighting the likes of top lawyers like Manch, and the lawyers are being changed, top lawyers are being brought in, but still they have managed to hold their ground. So they are doing a good job. So it is a tough battle. So, I mean, we should not say that eventually he will come out or something, because we never expected him to be kept inside this long as well.
okay, as per the law in India, when I mean they have the chats. I mean for the NCB is saying that they've assessed the chats. There's proof that he have procured drugs. I mean he have international link. He consumed drugs. He sell drugs, and all that. What is the how is the law like when such person get involved in such kind of act?
Minimum punishment is a jail term of 1 year, and it's a non-bailable offense. Okay, it's a minimum. I mean, depends on what role he is playing in this drug circulation and consumption business. When what is proved in the court, because what actually is never proved, right? So, to what extent his involvement in this drug business is he only a consumer, or is he being is he making deals? He is doing deals with is he selling drugs?
Yeah,
So,
assuming he's making a deal, because that I mean, there's also a chat saying that he have been in contact with an international person, but they also say that through dark net or through cryptocurrency, there have been
bitcoins,
bitcoins
yeah.
and all that. So there is not just consumption. This is actually it could be, if it's proven, okay, if it's proven that this is buying and selling. So is it also a jail term?
No, no. In that case, I mean, I said it depends. Minimum term is
Okay.
1 year. It depends on the gravity of the crime.
Okay.
Okay. So, I don't know. I mean, it is not fixed as such. I mean, it depends. Again, he has power and influence, but ideally, the minimum jail term is 1 year if they are found to be in violation of the NDPS Act.
Okay.
Okay.
Because in Singapore is a bit. I mean, if you consume, probably a few years, but if you sell or you procure or you smuggle in, it will be hanged.
Yeah. That should be the law actually.
Yeah.
That should be the law actually. And to all those who are questioning that Aryan Khan was using it for himself, why should he be targeted and all?
Yeah.
Then Singapore should give them the answer.
No, and the other comment about India being backward, I think Singapore is way, way, way backward, I guess.
In the yeah, Singapore. In that context, then Singapore is very, very. But
Very.
that country, I mean, see, it has no natural resources of its own. Singapore, small country, but still, it's one of the most developed countries in the nation. Why? It's because of their discipline, their efficiency, and all. Okay, so if have because they have strict laws,
Yeah.
they don't not only have strict laws, but they, I mean, execute those laws to perfection as well,
Yeah. I mean, it's
on
because
time.
of such laws, you can control it, is it? So
You
we
will
don't
have a
have such
clean
strict laws.
society
Yeah.
when see, you will have a clean society when you have a clean society, and if where a person is fearless, an honest person is fearless, naturally it will grow, right?
Correct.
When a country like Singapore, which doesn't have any natural resources of it, it doesn't even have water, fresh water, it has to import
Yeah.
water even. Okay,
Yeah.
if a country like Singapore can be one of the most developed nations, what is stopping India, which has all resources with it, all sorts of mineral resources, natural resources, and everything? What is stopping us from being a developed nation? It is these people who have been actually eating out of the taxpayers' money. Otherwise, the amount of taxes collected by India is enough to make it a developed country. It is enough to develop the infrastructure of the country and provide free medical and educational these things. I mean, services to the citizens of the country.
Correct. It's to be very frank, it's a wonderful country. In fact, we got so many brilliant intellectual people in that country, And sad to say, among these people, there are people like, the cases and news that are coming up. That's the sad part of it.
Yeah, that is what there is a lot of talent in India as well. I mean, I said India has all sort of resources, so human resources, natural resources, mineral resources, all sort of top class resources we have. But in spite of that, we are like this. Why? Because we are not concerned. We are not concerned enough. But what we are not understanding is that people say, "Oh, I don't want to discuss politics. That's boring. Let's not discuss politics." That's the usual thing, I mean, a discussion which most of the people have. Okay. But you will not discuss politics, but it is those very politics which is governing your lives.
Yeah.
It decides the price of everything that you pay. So ultimately, it's deciding if you're having an easy life or if you have having a life where you have to run from morning to day away from the people who matter to you, slogging it out. It decides the quality of your life. So if you are okay with it, then fine. The people who are concerned, they will continue fighting. That's a different thing, because every battle of dharma has various.
Yeah.
But the people should understand now one thing, that if people like Sushant Singh Rajput, Devi, who never had the need to, they had all the luxuries at their feet, right? They could have chosen to enjoy them. But they have sacrificed their lives because they wanted the good of everyone, even the common man. But if we ourselves don't want our good, then it's a very big shame on us.
Yeah.
And if it's not now, then it's never. The situation will worsen so much that they, you can't even think of fighting it out.
Sadly,
Right?
those people who fight for justice and who want to do the right thing, these people have achieved
They
getting rid of
harass
it.
them.
Yeah.
They harass them like anything. They harass them financially. They harass them every which ways. A lot of
Yeah.
mind games and everything up there.
Yeah. Like the honey trap.
Oh, honey trap. I
Yeah,
mean, see, as I was saying,
talking about honey trap, I have to mention this name. The name that I've waited so long is not popping on is Imtiaz Khatri's being summoned and investigated. For
okay,
so long, no mention, nothing after Sushant case. But now the recent this was last week, I guess. He was summoned and investigated
Yes,
for so many hours. Yeah.
yes. Does
Yeah.
anyone know what has happened to that? What came
No.
out of this
Maybe
investigation?
maybe you wanna share. Yeah.
No, no, I am not aware of it.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
I'm not. I only know, but there was news saying that since it's a long hours of investigation, it could be NCB may have some important information. That's why it's being investigated so long. And probably he have no answers for it and all that. That's the news I actually read. I do not
so
know what
things
happened
like
already. Yeah,
NCB is doing a fabulous job.
yeah,
MC is doing a very fabulous job, but when we are congratulating NCB at the same time, we should keep questioning CBI.
yeah, yeah. Yes.
And if they come out with anything that doesn't answer all the questions that the people have been having since the past 1 year, then people should be prepared to not stay silent or get disheartened. At that time, the roar should be even louder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So we should be prepared for everything. We should keep the pressure on CBI. We should keep asking them for the status of the findings. And if they conclude anything otherwise, which does not answer the logical questions that the people have been having since more than a year and now, then be prepared to voice out louder and roar louder.
We will, we will. As long we have,
Yes,
great
be
SSRian
prepared.
like yourself also, putting in a
Okay.
lot of effort for this. Because without the Sushant's diaries, if you have not decoded, there's a lot of things I'm not aware of. Similar to me, and a lot of people out there do not know. So this is like an education for them and for us, an awareness for us to be careful, to know what is happening, and also for those people who have families and children. So I think they need to know out of India, in India. Yeah. So thanks to you and also thanks to Sushant.
Yes, thanks to
Yeah.
Sushant. I mean, not everyone doesn't have this ability or talent to jot down the notes as and how it happens, and as in such a simple way where everyone can understand, whoever goes through the words can understand it. So, and this documentation, I trust me, Bajant, it is a treasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a treasure. If a movement starts, if awakening happens, this should be one of the, what do you say, Bibles of this
Yeah.
awakening.
Yeah. You should come up with a book soon.
Yes, once I finish decoding all the drives, I'll compile it in a chronological order and we will have it, published into books. And Sushant
Mhm.
wanted it to be distributed free. So we will, again, I will come on your show and we will
Yeah.
collaborate.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
get the NGOs together and everything, and we will try and get it translated to other languages so that the reach can be more.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
regional languages like other Hindi and all. So there's a lot of work for us to do
Yeah.
while we keep, rolling out for Sushant's justice and justice of Jia Khan.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not time to get disheartened or lose hope or something.
Yeah. You do
The
not know
more
what's
they,
happening.
yeah,
You do not know what's happening. Yeah. Tell
the
me.
more they make us wait, the louder the our roar should be,
Yeah.
our roar
Don't
of
worry.
protest.
Don't worry, Dipti ji. The Sushant's book that's coming out will do all the talking for us.
Yes, there's still
Yeah.
time for that because this decoding itself is taking so much time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Correct.
there's still time for that.
Yeah.
We will collaborate on a lot of things, Bachchanji, in
Okay.
getting people together because it. So yeah, it's a noble work. Let's get going. I seek participation from a lot of people
Of
out
course. Of
there as
course.
well. Of course,
Yeah.
because the slides are there on my profile. Okay, so if anyone wants to, just note it down, they can note it down, send me the word format so that I can proofread it. So there are a lot
Yeah.
of things that people can help.
Yeah. Yeah. So whoever listen to the video, just take note of what Dipti ji is actually sharing now. Yeah. Okay, Deepti ji. So we'll that's like 1 hour 45 minutes. But thank you so much for coming on board.
Bachchan ji, I'm really sorry for today because I was caught up in something. I mean, like, yes.
Anyway, that's you, Deepti ji. No matter how busy you are, no matter how caught up you are, you still come and do what you have. That hats off to you. Thank you for that. Seriously, sometimes when someone are busy, they probably will just say that, "Hey, look, I can't do it, do this," or but you don't give excuses. You just, I mean, even if you can't make it on this day, you make sure that you make it on another day to do it. So, thank you for that.
No, thank you, Bachchan ji. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
standing up for truth and for your platform, which is connecting
Thank you.
so many people and spreading the awareness to a lot of people. Everything matters. Every effort matters. Thank you so much. Please keep this up.
Thank you, Ji. You're doing a bigger job. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good
No,
night.
there's no bigger or smaller job. Every effort matters.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
but it is. Seriously, it is. Yeah. Thank you, Ji. Good night. Good night. Have a great
Thank you.
evening and a great weekend.
You too. You too. Have a
Yeah.
great weekend and take care. We'll
Yeah.
meet
Take
soon.
care. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You will.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. Oh gosh, I didn't even say what is the last message. English. Okay. You see, thank you everyone for joining us, and yeah, we'll be back with another video. And have a good evening, Saturday evening, and tomorrow is Sunday. Have fun, and at the same time, do pray for justice for Sushant Singh Rajput, for Jia Khan, for Disha Salian, for whoever, Sri Devi, you know. So Divya Bharati, the thing is when I start talking about all the injustice, so many names are in the list. Anyway, let's pray for justice. Karma will catch up. Good night.